really well over the last 6 months. Question is, how do they do going forward? Let's talk some cloud. We've got Alan Nuttman joining us, Chief Market Strategist at Agora Financial. Alan, you've got a trade in a cloud stock. I want to get there in a sec, but first, give me your thoughts on this market overall. We're at all-time highs, just like that.
So I've often said optimism wins. So my strategy is to position for success. Obviously, I've been bullish. I don't think anything's any different this time. And it hasn't been. So the market was up big last night, and I was looking for new highs this week, even without the news. So the news just is an added cherry on top. Now,
it looked like you were going to get it overnight.
Like a strike.
I'll say we're just below it overnight.
Right. So this is just a bonus. And if you look at things technically, we talked about that 3,200 holding, and that sets up for a move. As we've seen every time in market history, the distance of that sell-off on the old tops, we're looking at 4,000 the S&P, more upside. Now, my game is selling into strength. And last week, I unloaded JD.com, I unloaded Apple, I unloaded WB. So some big profits there, but I left a lot of money on the table. A lot of money, but that's okay. That's how this game works. And I still see a lot of potential here for this to continue and go. But it's about setting up for risk reward at these higher levels, obviously.
All right. So now, Alan, how does this, though, change the stocks that you want to look at? It doesn't seem like it is. You've got FEYE in here today, and I think that's interesting because we've got a whole bit into a different part of the market today. The downtrodden, beaten up, reopening, and cyclicals. FEYE is doing okay. It hasn't been one of the big momentum tech winners, but this does kind of fit into your strategy that's been finding the names in tech that aren't getting bid up as much as tech.
The rocks that need to be polished in a diamond. So this stock, from a technical standpoint, is a perfect setup for what I like to look for. Trading between 10 and 15 since March. We're breaking above 15 right now. That target's 20. Now, this in the big picture for the last 5 years has been stuck between 10 and 20. So if you can get to the top of that range at $20, then it's going to look into move up to 30. So there's a lot of upside potential here with, in my opinion, limited downside with the base that has formed. So the way I like to play it was longer-term options, and I'm looking at, in this instance, looking longer term than usual because the options are so cheap. The January $12 call, trading for about $3.50. It's $3.25 in the money, so it's like being long for $12. The break-even is only 25 cents away, and this option is only $25 more than the December option. So even though I'm looking for something to happen relatively quickly, why not buy more time even if I don't need it? That's the strategy behind this play.
Okay. So, Alan, you're looking basically at a way to find a company here that hasn't been, that's actually might even work better than some of the core momentum trades because it's the core momentum trades the last 6 months that are getting left behind today a little bit.
Sometimes chase the laggards instead of chasing the leaders. So in this instance, last week, we got cut off, but I was talking about Apple. Apple, did have a bounce. Apple is America. And to get into it now at 122 after it's rallied $15, from my standpoint, isn't what I want to do. I still think there's a lot more upside in all these stocks, Apple in particular. But it's about getting in at better entry points. And the way that I use options into stock substitution allows you to ride through the ups and downs. And the power of options, it's as much the strategy as the stock. So we had a Pfizer option that was down, I think, 50%. And then, obviously today's big news, positive, it breaks about 40. That's all I was looking for. I didn't know what was going to cause it. That option now is up 100%. So things quickly change, and that's the power of options. And you've got the staying power to be able to ride through the ups and downs. So that's why I think there's so many advantages to the options market.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the thoughts, Alan. Bullish positioning paying off today. Appreciate it, Mr. Nuttman, joining us, Chief Strategist at Agora Financial. When we come back, we've got a few other subjects that we still got to hit. Of course, one of them is going